On the news tonight. Tinubu swears in new ministers in second Federal Executive Council meeting. Court of Appeal removes Senator Ishaku Abu, declares new representative for Adamawa North. Nigeria's inflation skyrockets to 26.72% as food price rises. Wife arrested for pouring hot water on husband in Rivers State. We are not beggars. CDA chairman calls out Ogun State government. Lagos seals hospital for unsafe blood transfusions, urges vigilance. 35-year-old elected as Ecuador's president pledges to restore peace. Belgium-Sweden Euro Qualifier suspended after Brussels terrorist attack leaves 2 dead. Super Eagles beat Mozambique, win first friendly in 5 years. Now the news in full. I am Arakunrin Sheyi. To listen to the news in full details, kindly click on the link below. Welcome back to the news on Arakunrin Sheyi podcast. Kindly follow our podcast on Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, and AudioMac at Arakunrin Sheyi podcast, and also follow us on all social media accounts: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. Thank you. In a brief yet significant ceremony at the presidential villa in Abuja, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presided over the second Federal Executive Council meeting, where he administered the oath of office to 3 newly appointed ministers. These ministers, Jamila Ibrahim, Kwara State, Balarabe Lawal, Kaduna State, and Ayodele Olawande, Ondo State, officially joined the ranks of the 45 other ministers who received approval from the Red Chamber back in August. Each of the newly sworn ministers have been assigned specific portfolios. Jamila Ibrahim is now the Minister of Youth, Ayodele Olawande is the Minister of State for Youth, and Balarabe Lawal is entrusted with the role of Minister of Environment. This significant Federal Executive Council meeting marks the second such gathering during the President Tinubu's administration since he assumed office on May 29. Notably, this meeting comes after a 48-day break, and it follows the Senate screening and confirmation of the 3 newly additional ministers. President Tinubu had previously sworn in and inaugurated the initial 45 ministers, stressed the importance of hard work during the maiden cabinet meeting in Abuja on August 28. He reminded Federal Executive Council members, including ministers, that the expectations of the Nigerian people are exceedingly high and any underperformance will not be tolerated. Court of Appeal removes Senator Ishaku Abu, declares new representative for Adamawa North. In a significant legal decision, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has removed Senator Elisha Abu, previously represented Adamawa North, from his position. The judgment, delivered by a 3-member panel presided by Justice C.P. Nwosu Eme, has directed the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to issue a certificate of return to Amos Yohana as the duly elected lawmaker representing the area in the National Assembly. This decision overturns previous ruling by the tribunal, which had upheld Abu's claim as the winner of the senatorial election on the platform of the All Progressive Congress (APC). INEC had initially declared Abu the victor of the parliamentary election held on February 25, 2023. However, in response to the electoral body's decision, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) candidate Amos Yohana contested the election outcome at the tribunal, but his petition was dismissed for lacking merit. Not satisfied with the tribunal's judgment, the PDP candidate, represented by his counsel Johnson Usman SAN, pursued the matter at the Court of Appeal. After careful consideration and examination of the evidence, the Court of Appeal agreed with Usman's argument, citing Section 137 of the Electoral Act 2022. It was found that the election result did not comply with the Electoral Act. The court proceeded to subtract the invalid votes from both parties, ultimately declaring Yohana and the PDP as the winners of the election, supported by a majority of lawful votes. In response to the ruling, Senator Abu expressed his discontent, but calls were calm among the supporters in the wake of what he described as a significant decision affecting democracy. Nigeria's inflation skyrocketed to 26.72% as food price rises. In a concerning economic development, Nigeria's inflation rate surged to 26.72% in September 2023, primarily driven by soaring food prices and the economic challenges stemming from the removal of fuel subsidies in May. This revelation comes from the September 2023 Consumer Price Index (CPI) and inflation report, which was recently released by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS). The CPI, a measure of price changes for goods and services, increased to 25.80% in August 2023, marking a significant rise of 0.92 percentage points. The report highlighted in September 2023, the headline inflation rate increased to 26.72% relative to the August 2023 headline inflation rate, which was 25.80%. Taking a closer look at this shift, the September 2023 headline inflation rate saw a notable increase of 0.92 percentage points when compared to the August 2023 figure. On a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 5.94 percentage points higher compared to September 2022, which recorded a rate of 20.77%. Moreover, the report disclosed that food inflation in September 2023 stood at 30.64% on a year-on-year basis, marking a significant 7.30 percentage point increase compared to September 2022, which was 23.34%. This surge in food inflation was driven by price hikes in oil and fat, bread and cereals, potatoes, yams, other tubers, fish, fruit, meat, vegetables, milk, cheese, and eggs. On a month-on-month basis, food inflation in September 2022 recorded a rate of 2.45%, which was 1.41% lower compared to the rate in August 2023, which was 3.87%. The decrease in food inflation on a monthly basis was attributed to a reduction in the rate of increase in the average prices of potatoes, yams, and other tubers, as stated in the report. Wife arrested for pouring hot water on husband in Rivers State. In a shocking incident, the Rivers State Police Commander has taken into custody a woman who allegedly scalded her husband with boiling water during a heated domestic dispute. The woman, identified as Mrs. Goslov Olakada, originally hailing from Akwa Ibom State but residing in Agbonchiata in the Eleme local government area of Rivers State, was apprehended by the members of the local Incha Vigilante and subsequently handed over to the Eleme Police Division on Saturday, October 14. The trouble began when Mrs. Olakada purportedly requested her husband to provide her with a sum of 15,000 naira as part of the host community dividend. When her husband declined, it is alleged that she took drastic measures, pouring scalding hot water on his face and making off with his automated teller machine ATM card. Following the incident, Mrs. Olakada was discovered hiding in the ceiling of their residence. This couple, consisting of Mrs. Olakada and her husband, Ejiri Olakada, parent to two daughters. The Rivers State Police Command, represented by their spokesperson, SP Grace Onjekoko, has confirmed the incident and stated that an ongoing investigation is in progress. We are not beggars. CDA chairman calls out Ogun State government. The chairman of the Shokeye Community Development Area (CDA) in Ogun State, Nigeria, has voiced strong criticism against the distribution of palliatives in his community, emphasizing that residents are neither hungry nor in need of such assistance. In a widely circulated video on social media, the chairman expressed his discontent while holding a bag of rice labeled Ogun State Palliative Program, lamenting the inadequacy of rice allocated to the 1.7 household in Shokeye Estate. In his own words, he stated, "I am the chairman of the CDA and I was just at home now, and they brought this for me as palliative for the whole of Shokeye Estate. In this estate, we have 147 houses, families and tenants living there. We are not hungry, we are not beggars, so we don't need your rice as palliative. This is not even up to 1/8 of a bag of rice." This comment follows the allocation of 5 billion naira to each state and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) by the federal government for palliatives after the removal of fuel subsidies. The purpose of this allocation was to enable the purchase of food items for distribution to the underprivileged in their respective states. He criticized the state government that Abiodun's action as an affront to both him and the entire estate, expressing confusion about how to distribute such limited resources among the households. The chairman firmly conveyed his message to the government, specifically addressing Governor Dapo Abiodun, suggesting that if they cannot provide substantial assistance, they should refrain from making such gestures, emphasizing that the community refuses to accept what they consider an insult. Lagos Hills Hospital for Unsafe Blood Transfusions urges vigilance. The private hospital located in Agor Quarter within the Oshodi Solo local government area of Lagos State, Nigeria, has been sealed by the Lagos State government due to the alarming practice of administering unscreened and unlabeled blood to unsuspecting patients. Dr. Bodrin Oshikomaya, the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Service (LSBTS), reviewed this concerning development in a statement issued through Tubos Rugoban, with Director of Public Affairs for the State Ministry of Health. The LSBTS took swift action after receiving a tip-off from a concerned citizen, collaborating with the State Health Facilities Monitoring and Accreditation Agency (AFAMA) to shut down the facility. Oshikomaya explained, following a tip-off and after thorough investigations, the enforcement team of LSBTS and AFAMA during their joint monitoring exercise in the area visited the facility and confirmed to be true the unwholesome, unprofessional and unethical medical practices and conduct of the hospital management. This extreme step was taken because of various violations, including failure to adhere to the Blood Transfusion Service Law, unethical and unprofessional medical service practices, and a severe risk posed to unknowing patients. The law unequivocally states that blood cannot be transfused to a patient in Lagos State unless it has been screened, tested, labeled by the State Blood Transfusion Committee, and confirmed negatives for all transmissible diseases, including HIV-1 and 2, hepatitis B and C, syphilis, and any other diseases deemed necessary by the LSBTS. The Executive Secretary further explained that information about the blood donors and transfusion recipients has been retrieved from the hospital management. Patients who were subjected to unscreened blood units are being traced as part of a critical protocol to assess their clinical health status and ensure their safety. Welcome to Global News. A 35-year-old elected as Ecuador's president pledges to restore peace. In an age-defying victory, Daniel Noboa, a 35-year-old heir to a banana empire, has been elected as Ecuador's youngest ever president. He celebrated his win in Quito with the blaring of car horns, promising to restore peace to a country plagued by a brutal drug gang war. Following the electoral authority declaration of his victory, and socialist rival Luisa González's concession, Noboa pledged to begin the work of rebuilding a nation that has been deeply scarred by violence, corruption, and hatred. Ecuador, traditionally a peaceful haven situated between major cocaine exporters, Colombia and Peru, has witnessed a surge in violence in recent years as rival gangs with connections to Mexican and Colombian cartels vie for control. This violent struggle has resulted in a brutal massacre of at least 160 inmates in prisons since February 2021, with many being beheaded or burned alive in a large-scale riot. The violence has spilled into the streets where gangs have resorted to gruesome displays such as dangling headless corpses from city bridges and denoting car bombs outside police stations to showcase their power. In August, this wave of violence claimed the life of anti-graft and anti-cartel presidential candidate Fernando Villavicencio, who was gunned down in a hall of submachine gun fire after a campaign speech, despite polling in second place. Following Villavicencio's assassination, a state of emergency was declared, and both Noboa and González campaigned and voted with heavy security details and bulletproof vests. In his hometown of Olon in the southwest, President-elect Noboa emphasized his commitment to restore peace, to introduce education to the youth, and create job opportunities in the country. Israel denies ceasefire for Gaza evacuation, pledges safety on designated route. Israel has denied report of a temporary ceasefire in Gaza aimed at allowing foreign nationals to flee to neighboring Egypt. However, the Israeli military has committed to not striking specific routes within Gaza designated for evacuation from north to south during a limited time frame from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Previous media reports have suggested that Israel, Egypt, and the United States had agreed to open the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt for several hours on Monday to facilitate the departure of foreign nationals and the entry of humanitarian aid. A statement from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office clarified there is currently no ceasefire and humanitarian aid in Gaza in return for removing foreigners. Eight convoys waiting on the Egyptian side had not left the town of El Arish, located about 40 kilometers 25 miles west of Rafah as of Monday. The Israeli military emphasized ongoing operational activity, with military spokesman Dani Al-Gari stating there is no ceasefire and we are continuing with operational activity. Izzat al-Rikish, the chief of Hamas media office, also contracted the media report asserting that there was no truth to the ceasefire claims. The Israeli military announced it would refrain from targeting two designated roads in the Gaza Strip to facilitate the movement of residents southward and away from potential ground operations. Military spokesperson Avichai Adre confirmed this in a statement, urging people to utilize the designated axis for their safety. United Nations Relief Chief Martin Griffiths expressed his hope to get aid through the Rafah crossing into Gaza to assist the approximately 1 million people who have been displaced within Gaza and those already living there. This humanitarian move is in response to the conflict between Gaza Hamas militants and Israel, which has resulted in significant casualties and displacement. The situation remains volatile, with both sides engaged in military action, particularly in southern areas of Gaza, including Khan Yunis and Rafah. Welcome to Sport Update. Belgium-Sweden Euro qualifier suspended after Brussels terrorist attack leads to death. The Euro 2024 qualifier between Belgium and Sweden was halted at the half-time due to a terrorist attack in Brussels, resulting in the tragic death of two Swedish nationals. Journalists at the Royal Bardon Stadium in Brussels reported that fans were kept inside the venue, and the UEFA website confirmed that the match was suspended with the score tied at 1-1. The Swedish Football Association revealed that Belgian police instructed supporters to remain in the arena for security reasons. An official statement on its website, UEFA declared, following a suspected terrorist attack in Brussels this evening, it has been decided after consultation with the two teams and the local police authorities that the UEFA Euro 2024 qualifying match between Sweden and Belgium is abandoned. The Belgian national team expressed their condolences on social media, acknowledging the suspension of the match and expressing their sympathy for those affected. Earlier, Brussels experienced a shooting incident in which two people lost their lives, with the suspected gunman reportedly on the run. Prime Minister Alexander De Croo identified the victims as Swedish and offered condolences to Sweden's premier, emphasizing the need to stand together against terrorism. Anti-terrorism police have been assigned to the investigation, amplifying global concern following the recent Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent military response. Before the match suspension, Sweden has taken the lead with a goal from forward Victor Gyökeres, but the home team equalized through Romelu Lukaku in the 31st minute. Super Eagles beat Mozambique, win first friendly in 5 years. In a thrilling match, the Super Eagles achieved a 3-2 victory over Mozambique in a friendly game, marking Nigeria's first win in a friendly match in 5 years. Mozambique initially took the lead with a goal from Geni Katamo just 7 minutes into the game, raising concerns that Nigeria's winless streak in friendly matches might continue. However, the Murphy of OGC Nice equalized for the Super Eagles with a close-range shot 13 minutes later, leveling the score at Estadio Municipal de Albufeira in Albufeira in Portugal. Nigeria continued to dominate play, and it came as no surprise when they took the lead. Frank Oyeka of Brentford capitalized on a loose ball at the edge of the box and fired home, giving the Eagles a 2-1 lead. Mozambique was reduced to 10 men after a foul on Joe Aribo in the 37th minute, but Nigeria took a bit more time to score their third goal. The Mambas of Mozambique conceded a penalty after Andy Fisayo Bashiru's free kick, and Simon Moses converted the spot kick into Nigeria's third goal of the day. The second half saw both teams making effort to score, and the Mozambique managed to reduce the deficit with a goal by Faisal Abdulbangal. Nigeria made some late changes in the match, and despite two goals by Sadiq Umar being disallowed for offside, they held off the East Africans to secure their first friendly match victory since defeating Egypt 1-0 in March 2019. Prior to this win, Nigeria has played 15 friendly matches, losing 7 and drawing 8 during those 5 years. And it's a wrap on our current podcast. Kindly stay tuned to all our podcasts on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, and Audio Mac, and even Spotify. You can also watch our clips live on Instagram, Facebook Reels, and YouTube using the name Arakonshei Podcast. Thank you for listening.